The Influence Tribe, episode number 36.
I should have never been able to make this work. I knew nothing about the internet, but so many people are so freaking lazy, they want to sit on their ass and do absolutely nothing and come into a business. This is why you fail, because you're a scam. You scam yourself. You're too worried about, is this a scam? No, you're the scam. If you're not going to come into your business and work it like a business and treat it like a business, then you're the scam.
Hey, Influence Tribe. Now, you can take away every tool in my business, but the one thing I can't live without is my email list. Aweber is the #1 trusted autoresponder for over 120,000 small business, network, internet, and affiliate marketers. Now, right now, you have the opportunity to try out your first month for free. Just go to theinfluencetribe.net, click on the Aweber banner to get started today. Get your prospects to know, like, and trust you with the best autoresponder out there. Head on over to theinfluencetribe.net today and click on the banner to claim your first month for free.
If you want success in internet marketing, you just have to follow what real internet marketers do.
Now, what do I have to do to get you into this website today?
Right here, you're going to learn strategies, tips, and inspiring stories from up-and-coming internet marketers and current rock stars. Welcome to the Influence Tribe, presented by your hosts, Miguel Fuentes and Scott Lindstrom.
Nice, huh?
Hey, good evening, everybody, and welcome to tonight. We have another episode here on the Influence Tribe show on this wonderful Friday. We want to welcome to all our viewers out there that are catching this live on theinfluencetribe.com. We want to encourage you to join our Facebook page where you can, once approved, can ask any of our guests any questions during the show. Also, we'd like to give a shout out to all of our podcast listeners as well. So if you are getting value from this show, be sure to head on over to iTunes, like, subscribe, give us a 5-star review. So, like I always do, Pat, are you ready to kick things off tonight? And are you ready to become a massive influencer?
Absolutely, man. Let's rock and roll. And I don't even like rock and roll. I like country and western, but I just don't think country and western would do that kick of rock and roll, you know.
Awesome.
So, let's go.
Pat Patterson is a new guest to our show, and he was born in Dothan, Alabama. Am I saying that correctly, Pat?
Absolutely, Dothan.
Okay, and it's in the southeastern part of Alabama, and now he currently resides in Chattanooga, Tennessee. He's started out his MLM back in October of 2013, found MLSP in April of 2016, where since then he's attained the prestigious accomplishment of being featured on the leaderboards, where he's currently L3, which by no means is any small feat. He's a multiple six-figure earner, and he's proud through his weekly show called He's proud through his weekly show called Wisdom Wednesdays, where he's able to help and bless many struggling and new entrepreneurs. So his primary methods of marketing is through video, and I'm really excited to get into tonight's episode. But before we do, I want to tell everybody how you can be a part of this awesome community called the Influence Tribe. Folks, leaders are influencers, and you need to align yourself with the right leadership. So me, Miguel, and Pat, we're here to help you become the leader that you want to become. All right, so all you got to do is click that big yellow button that's off to the side on theinfluencetribe.com and say yes. Yes, I'm ready to get started. We have aligned ourselves with the largest group of online marketers that have been around since 2007. So click the button, take your $10 test drive, and start off your entrepreneurial journey on the right foot. Now, it doesn't matter what kind of business you're in, traditional or network marketing, we have got the right skill sets and mindsets to help you. So I'm really super excited about tonight's episode. We're going to talk about Pat's accomplishments and his story. So I want to thank you, Pat, for coming out. I know that you have a really small schedule and a small window of time. So thank you for coming out with us.
No. That's not true. I work from home. I got all the time in the world.
Okay.
I don't have to answer to nobody. I'm here, and I'm here as long as you need me to stay. Now, I might have a little trouble with English. You know, I don't speak English very well sometimes. My tongue gets in the way. So please forgive me, ladies and gentlemen, if that happens. I'll back up sometimes. So go ahead.
Folks, be prepared tonight because Pat's a wild cannon. Okay, I've been warned. So I don't know what's going to happen tonight. So all I can say is disclaimer warning. Anything can happen tonight. All right. So Pat, please come out. Share us how you got involved in the industry. I'd love to hear your story, and I'm sure everybody out there would love to as well.
Well, the first thing I want to say is he just said, take it for a test drive. Please get that shit out of your mind. It's not a test drive. You want to pay the $10. You're going to pay $10. So you have 10 days to get your business set up 100%. It's kind of like owning a restaurant where you move all the furniture in there, you get your kitchen set up, you hire your employees. That's what you're doing for the $10. But it's not a test drive. It's the beginning of your business. So never look at this as you're going to try it out. Because if that's your mindset, don't waste your $10. You need it more than we do. Keep it. So just remember, it's not a test drive. Get in there and pay the $10 to get your whole business set up. And then you'll pay the $149.97, which is a hell of a deal to own your own business. So, but anyway, with that being said, would you not agree? It's not really a test drive.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
I wish they would not even call it a trial. I hate that trial, because here's what people do. I'm going to do it and see if it works. Well, that's bullshit. Hey, here's are you going to work? Because this does not work unless you do. MLSP will not do a freaking, like your car. Your car will not move out of that parking place until you get in the driver's seat. So jump in, $10, $149.97 a month. That's the way you got to look at your business. Treat it like a business and not a hobby. But anyway, I'm still in the show now. See, I'm not letting you say a word.
I just can't wait to hear your story, Pat, because it's going to be awesome.
Well, most people know I was a police officer for 17 years. I got in law enforcement in 1995. And to let you know how bad I wanted to be a cop, I was a district manager before I was a police officer with Carmike Cinemas. It was a movie theater chain all across the United States. And I was over North and South Carolina. I had 20 theaters, 20 managers, and about 44 assistant managers under me. And I was making, in 1994, I was making $55,000 a year with a company car, concession percentages. I was making really good money. In 1995, when they went away with that height and weight requirement that they used to require police officers, it was like 140 pounds. You had to be 5'7". I was like 118, 5'6". So I could never meet that height and weight requirement. But the federal government said, everybody but the government, that was discrimination. Now, the government still discriminates. If you want to be like Secret Service or FBI, you still have to be 145.7. They still do the height and weight requirement. But municipalities like the city and the counties can't do that, nor can the states do that. Once they lifted it, I went into police academy. I saved the money myself, $2,800 in 1995. That was a lot of money. And I sent myself through the police academy. And I started off as a police officer in April of 95, making $18,200 a year. That's what $18,600 a year. So I took a big pay cut. But I say that to tell everybody out there, if your passion and your love is to work from home, and you keep saying, oh, I can't give up that income at work, it is so well worth it when you're working from home and you're building your dream and not somebody else. So just remember, I went through it. I'm not just talking crap here. I lived it. I went from 55,000, and I was making about anywhere from 12 to 14,000 in commission from concession every 6 months. That's what I would get, somewhere in that area. So obviously I was making well over $70,000 in 1994. I gave that all up and started at 18,200 because that was my passion. That's what I wanted to do with my life. And I stayed in it for 17 years. Now, this is how I'm going to explain to you how I got into the online marketing world. After 17 years of law enforcement, I'm a traffic unit at this time. Of course, I became a traffic unit about my 5th year. I loved working traffic, doing vehicle stops, doing vehicle searches, DUIs, suspended license, finding the drugs underneath the seat and then the spare tires and all this. So that was my passion, is traffic. But I stopped a guy one night that had 2 kilos. And anybody that doesn't know what that is, 2 kilos of cocaine, that's a lot of cocaine. And it was packaged for distribution, which means packaged for selling. So this guy was ready to roll over on his mother. So during the interrogation, I don't mind not charging him fully if he's going to help us get something else, get the bigger guy. And he tells us about a white Chevette tire, or a white Chevette coming from Florida going to Illinois. And it's supposed to have several kilos of cocaine and $150,000 in the spare tire. Now, the $150,000 was because they were going to do some drug trade out in Illinois and bring some stuff back too. If it's my case, if I get that money and I get those drugs, we seize everything. I get to seize the vehicle, the drugs, the $150,000, and that's $150,000 that my department gets to use for equipment. They can use it however they want to, as long as it's used for the department. It doesn't just go into a general fund for the city and they get to use it on, a city council member or something. It has to stay for the department. $150,000, that's a big drug bust. So I was deputized at the time, and meaning my jurisdiction did not stop at the city limits. I could go out in the county if I needed to, because I was deputized. I had jurisdiction for the whole county. So the night this white Chevette was supposed to come through, and it was a white Chevette with a little space saver tire on the front. On the front left, this is how the guy identified the vehicle. And the reason for the little space saver tire was because the real tire's in the trunk full of drugs and money. All that stuff wouldn't fit in that little space saver tire. So that's what we're looking for. And for those of you who don't know what a Chevette is, you're not missing nothing. It was real famous in the 90s, but they're not famous anymore. So we're sitting out there. I'm a traffic unit now. I don't usually handle calls unless all other units are tied up. Now, tonight, you're also going to get a 10 code lesson. You know how we talk on the radio, 10-4, 1076, 10-9. I'm going to explain what those are as I use them, because that's how I have to tell my story, because that's what I said on the radio. So you're in for a real treat here, ladies and gentlemen. But here I am. You do know that you're the one that's on the screen, not me, right?
Yeah, I got you on the screen right now.
Okay, because I'm not seeing that. Okay, there we go. So we're sitting out there and we're waiting for this Chevette. It's supposed to come within that hour, because we know what time the Chevette was supposed to leave Florida. Lakeview, Florida is where it was coming out of. And we knew how long it took to get from Lakeview, Florida, gas stops, eating stops, and in a general time zone, what time they should be coming by us. Then my department, I hear a call go over the radio. There's a 1010 in progress at the Pizza Hut. 1010 means fight. So there's a fight in progress inside the Pizza Hut. All 7 available units, including the lieutenant, which was the 8th unit, went 1076, 1018 to Pizza Hut. 1076 means en route. 1018 means quickly. Light siren, go. I'm the only available 108 unit now. 108 means in service. It wasn't like 10 seconds after that call went out. Now, you got to remember, I'm hyped. I'm ready. I'm just waiting for this white Chevette to come through. I've been working on this case for almost 2 weeks. Station 35. I'm like, damn, because my badge number was 35. We need you to go 10-8 back in the city. Oh, God. Now I'm pissed. I'm like, oh, my God. So here I go, and I'm thinking, well, maybe I have enough time, that he's going to be here within that hour, maybe even an hour and a half, because I'm willing to camp out there all night waiting on this white Chevette. And if you ever seen a white Chevette and the space saver tire, it's going to stick out like a sore thumb at night. I mean, you're going to see it. So I'm easing back towards the city. And just as I hit the city limit sign, my dispatcher says, Station 35. I'm like, damn, I said 35. She said, we have a 911 hang-up call, possible 1016. Well, everybody knows what a 911 hang-up call. I'm thinking, some kids playing Mary Had a Little Lamb on the phone and hit 911 and then hung up when somebody answered. But the possible 1016 was the issue. 1016 means domestic, like domestic violence. Husband, wife fighting, brothers are fighting, something's going on like that. She wouldn't have said that unless she heard something in the background. So I go en route. And this call was in the nasty part of town, a trailer where there's a trailer about every 500 feet, or 500 yards. There's a trailer, and then you go down this way, there's another trailer, and way down there's another trailer. But they were nasty. These things should have been condemned. So I pull up to the trailer. I get out of my car. Now I'm irritated. The only place Pat wants to be is out there at the interstate waiting on that white Chevette. So I'm easing towards the door. I'm thinking to myself, I'm going to go in there and tell them, look, you behave, you know, you're in timeout. If I come back, you both are going to jail. So on the way to the door, to the front door, I see a golf club. There's a 3-iron, and it's like in some grass that hadn't been cut in a while. And the only reason I noticed that is because you, as a police officer, you survey the scene before you, as you get there, I'm always looking around. And I looked at that and okay, if something happens and we're outside, there's a weapon. That's I just registered it. I didn't study it. I just walked by it and I just put it in my mind. There's a weapon. So if we go out there and somebody bends over, I know my gun's coming out because I know there's a weapon there. So, but anyway, I go up to the little steps, and this is a trailer, a little single wide trailer. It's got 3 steps coming up. You got to picture this. It's a small little balcony, and not even a balcony, a little deck. And this deck's not even big enough to put a barbecue grill on. It's just, if I'm standing in front of the door and I take 1 step back, my back is touching the back of the wood on this balcony or deck. Now the door to the trailer swings out, not in. So when somebody opens the door, you have to kind of step back so the door will clear your face. Now here's where Pat screwed up. We're trained from day one. You never, ever stand in front of a door and knock on it. You stand to the left or to the right. If there's a window to the right, I'm not going to stand to the right because somebody could shoot me in the back while I'm, looking at the door. I stood right in front of that door. I'm in a hurry. My guard is down. I'm thinking, okay, I'm dealing with either, like I said earlier, some kid playing Mary Had a Little Lamb on the touch-tone phone, or I'm dealing with a couple of idiots. And I've dealt with thousands of domestic calls. Half of them don't amount to anything. So my guard is down. Big mistake in law enforcement. Nothing is routine. I knocked on the door, and I knocked on the door, and I carried this wherever I went. This is a metal mag light. Because if I can't get to my gun, I'm going to crack them in the head or wherever I can. I'm a little guy. And in a fight, I'm not going to go like hand-to-hand combat. This was my equalizer. So I tapped on the door with this mag light, and the door exploded open. I mean, just bam! And I had to jump back, and I remember feeling that wood hit my back pretty hard because I had to go back so quickly. I wasn't expecting the door to swing open that quickly. And as I'm looking back, as I go back, I look back because I don't want to flip over this balcony because it's at the lower part of my back. Any pressure, you're going to be top heavy and go over the balcony. So as I look back and look forward, this 260 to 280 pound black male rushed me and hit me so hard with his body. We both went over this balcony. When I landed, my feet were straight up in the air, and I landed on the back of my neck. And I heard this loud crack. My breath was taken out of me. I mean, it knocked the breath completely out of me. And it rattled my brain because I had no idea when my feet hit the ground and he's on top of me. Now, that's what made it even worse. The impact of the ground with 260 pounds on top of you also makes the impact of hitting that ground 10 times worse. And that's what happened. I heard the crack. I'm dazed. I don't know where I am, why I'm here. It's kind of like this. Have you ever woken up in the middle of the night and you kind of look up at your eyes open, you're looking at the ceiling and you're like, whoa, that's not my ceiling. Where am I? And for a few seconds, you have no idea where you are. And then it kind of hits you. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, there's the vase. Okay, I'm still in my bedroom. And that happens to a lot of us. 2:30, 4 o'clock in the morning. You don't know where you are. Well, that's where I was. I was in la land. And it didn't happen just for a few seconds. It went on for quite a while where I didn't know what was going on. Why is this guy now mounted me and beating the hell out of me? What's going on? And I'm trying to defend him off with my arm, but the way I landed was on my right side. And you'd have to see this, the gravel because there was little patches of grass, but most of it was hard clay and some gravel. I call gravel just some rocks here and there. And if I was to roll this way, I'd just keep rolling down this little embankment that just kind of went like this. And we were up here almost at the flat area, but I was on my side. And this guy's just pounding me, knocked out teeth on the bottom, hit me in the forehead, my neck. Now, I didn't feel any pain through any of that. I mean, he's pounding on me. but I'm still on my side. And I'm thinking, oh, wait, I'm a police officer. I've got a weapon. I mean, I'm coming to now. I'm coming out of it a little bit. And he got right at my face, like this close. And he said, die, you MF. Of course, he said the whole word. He didn't just say MF. You take those initials and you figure it out, whatever you want it to mean. But he said, die, die. And he was just pounding me and he doing this with his fist and doing this. And the only arm, this arm's here underneath me. And I'm trying to fend him off with just with my left arm. So I got my right arm out and I said, let me get my gun. And it's like, holy shit. My gun is between my hip and the dirt, which is hard dirt. I mean, the ground, a hard ground, but it was dirt underneath me, but it's hard clay. I can't get the gun. I've got a level 3 holster, which means I have to push down on it, pull forward from my side and slide it out. It's a level 3. So if somebody tries to get my gun, they can't get it. They have to be on my side of the gun to get it. They'd have to rip the holster off my gun belt, which would be really hard to do, but I couldn't get my gun. Now, one thing I forgot to mention, right before I knocked on the door, I heard this loud bark, this dog barking, just really loud. I thought it was a German Shepherd. I mean, that's how loud it was. Of course, I never seen the dog. And I heard another voice beside the voice that's telling me to die. So I know there's another suspect up here somewhere. I haven't seen him. I don't know where he is. So this guy's pounding on me. And you should have seen my face afterwards. I didn't get to see it because I didn't look in the mirror. But because I've got mirrors even here at home that lie to me. Every morning I look into it, it's like, that can't be me. These wrinkles don't belong to me. That's not, but anyway, I didn't look in the mirrors. I didn't want to see but I felt it. I felt really ugly. I felt the swelling and the cuts but anyway, I hear this loud voice say, sick him. And I'm on my side and I look up like this and I see this huge pit bull rushing down those 3 stairs, making that U-turn, coming right at my face. And the only thing I knew to do is to put my left arm out. And he grabbed a hold of my left arm and he ripped my left arm apart. So I'm fighting now for my life. I've got a guy beating the shit out of me. I got a dog trying to attack my throat and he kept trying to go around my arm to get to my throat. I mean, he's right in my face. I feel it. I smell his breath. I feel the saliva coming off his mouth. I mean, I still didn't feel any pain though. I was still in that shock. No pain whatsoever, just fear to know. And I think right before, when I saw that dog, I think that's the moment that I fully came out of. I know what's going on. I know where I am. And I know why this guy's beating me up now. So the dog is on my arm. And if you've ever seen a pit bull, they don't just grab on, they jerk their heads like this and jerk backwards. And that's what he was doing to my arm. So the fear that came over me, I had to control it. And how do you do that? You just, well, I don't know how to put it into words. You just control it. You just bury it and you go into survival mode because I'm thinking it's over. When that dog latched onto my arm, I got a guy here. I got another suspect over here. I don't know where he is. Now I start thinking about that. Remember that 3-iron I told you about? I'm thinking, okay, at any minute, the guy's going to come up behind my head where I'm laying and start bashing me in the head with this 3-iron that I saw over here by the side of the trailer when I was headed toward the front door. So the dog grabbing my arm, he hit me so hard, it moved. Because I locked my arm so he could grab it and not get my face. And it moved me just enough to where now I can clear my weapon. So I pushed down, and ladies and gentlemen, when I pushed down on that gun, I screamed at him. Talking about it right now, I still feel that pain that shot through my ribs and my chest and up through my throat. I didn't know it, but I had broken ribs. Because the guy, when the dog hit me, the guy immediately stood up and started pounding on me with his legs. I said pounding because he wasn't kicking me. He was lifting his leg up and bringing it straight down. Now, I had a bulletproof vest, so that was protecting me, so I thought, but it broke several of my ribs. So I'm laying there. I'm thinking I can clear my gun, and the pain. And I screamed like a little girl. I swear I did. I just screamed out in pain. But I kept thinking, if I can't get my weapon, I'm dead. I'm done. And you just have to know this. You'd have the scene, the breath of the dog, the guy screaming for me to die and stomping me, and the mystery of where this other guy is. And I don't even have time to look for him. But I had that fear that he was just going to start just bashing my head in with that 3-iron. So I'm thinking, I got to get the gun. So I went for it again, and I just bit down. I screamed out real hard. I mean, real loud. The whole time I was pushing down, and at that moment, I remember thinking, I wish I hadn't had a level 3 holster. I wish I could have just unsnapped it and pulled it out. But I pushed down, I pulled forward, and I cleared it. Now, the dog is still on my arm. Trying to do that, and they say men can't multitask. You start fighting for your life, you will find a way to multitask. Because I had the dog trying to keep him off my throat. I'm trying to move so the guy's missing, stomping on me, and I got my gun. As soon as I cleared it, I put it on top of the dog's head and pulled the trigger. Now, what I thought right before I pulled that trigger, I remember putting the gun, and it's crazy what goes through your mind when you're fighting for your life. But this is what I thought. I put the gun on top of the dog's head, and I thought, oh my God, if I shoot him, the barrel of the gun is right against his head. It's gonna go through his skull and into my arm. I'm fixing to shoot myself in the arm. In a split second, I thought better to shoot myself in the arm than him to rip it off, because that's what's gonna happen. So boom. Now this is a Glock 23 that I had. It's a 40 caliber. And when that shell discharged out of that Glock, it flew up, and I would have swore it stuck to my eye right here. And the first time I felt any pain at all was right there. This hot cartridge shot out of that gun and hit my face. It didn't stick, but I thought it did. I thought somebody poured hot wax right here on my eye. Of course, it hit my face and bounced off, but the heat, I was like, oh God, that hooded. I mean, really hooded. So now when I shot this dog, the dog dropped. And when he did, I followed him down, and I felt pain shoot up my damn neck and into my head, and it was just this migraine headache now. But I remember looking down and seeing all this blood, and I'm thinking, okay, that's from the dog. I found out later in the hospital, no, that was from my arm. I bled all over my badge, my name tag, all my shirt, because the dog hadn't started bleeding yet. It was a straight hole through his skull. He's dead. So I'm thinking, okay, in my mind, I'm thinking, like I said, the hot cartridge, I'm thinking the skin was ripped off of my face, because that's what it felt like. It felt like there was an open wound there. But I'm thinking, I've got a chance now. The threat of this dog getting to my throat is over. Where's the other suspect? And this guy, all I got to do is take him out. Now, I still got my gun. This all happened in fractions of a second, this part, from shooting the dog until I was going to shoot the suspect. And I'm thinking, I'm going to kill him. Now, I know that sounds harsh. And in 17 years, I never thought, and I've been in the gunfights, I've been in the high-speed chases, I've been in the fights and the struggles, going down in the woods and fighting these guys and hitting a tree. I've done it all. Well, let me not say all, because I'm sure there's something out there in law enforcement I didn't do. But I'm thinking, I'm going to kill him. I'm going to take him out. And remember when I said, it's crazy what goes through your mind? Well, this literally is what I was thinking. When I shot the dog and I got through the part, and you got to remember, I'm feeling this pain in my ribs. I still feel that. It's like somebody is still kicking me in the ribs. So I come up. Now, I can't move this arm. A lot of times when I'm telling it on stage, I'll do this, but that's the way I was trained. When you aim a gun, you bring it up like this, and your other finger's at the front of the trigger guard. But that's not how I did it. This arm is disabled. It's ripped apart. It's laying here. So I come up with my gun, and I'm thinking, I'm going to shoot him in the head. And then I thought, wait a minute. I swear to God, this is what went through my head. I only made about an 87 at the firing range. No, an 82. I'm sorry. I got an 82 at the firing range when I qualified. I don't think that's good enough for a headshot. But this guy's 260 pounds. He's got a silhouette in his chest, wide. I can hit him. I can hit him. 82 constitutes hitting him about 4 times in his chest. And I remember pulling back, because a Glock has the safety on the trigger. It's a spring safety. You have to put pressure against that spring, but it's not something you have to think about. You just pull the trigger and the safety's off. And I remember pulling back on that trigger, and here comes this blur, and the guy's gone. What had happened is officer, I'm not going to name his name, but a new rookie officer who had been out of the academy about 3 weeks, I think. He was the first on the scene. Because here's what you got to realize. When an officer goes out on a call, and when I got there, I said, I'm 1023. 1023 means I've arrived at the scene. Within 3 minutes, usually 3, and depending on who the dispatcher is, but usually, 2 to 5 minutes, they're going to say, Station 35, or you 10-4? 10-4 means okay. Am I okay? That's what they did. About 3 minutes into it. I never heard it. I found all this later at the hospital. 35 station, or you 10-4? Or Station 35, or you 10-4? I didn't answer. So then they usually wait about anywhere from 10 to 20 seconds. And they say, again, station at 35 or U-10-4. That only happens twice. Then she gets on the radio. And this is policy. This is SOP. I need all available units, 1076, 1018 to 35's location. And then she'll give my location. 1076 again means en route. 1018 means now. So, but what she will say is I need every available unit, go 1076, 1078, 1018. 1078 means officer needs assistance. I heard, right before I shot the dog, I heard sirens coming from every direction. I knew somebody was coming to help me. And I just got very unlucky that it was a rookie police officer that really didn't know what he was doing. And he wanted to play football. Now you have to imagine this scene. He pulls up. There's an officer on the ground, blood all over him, a guy standing over him, another guy standing in the doorway of the trailer, and a dead dog laying on top of the officer. This guy, this rookie, did not know if that guy had a knife, a gun. He didn't know what this guy had, if he had a shotgun standing by the door just inside. He didn't know. He just took off running and tackles the guy. So I wasn't able to kill him because I wanted to kill him. First time I ever thought about killing somebody that I really wanted to. I didn't want to just stop him. I wanted to kill. I wanted the threat gone. Let me just say that. Because I'm in a situation where it's my life or his. And he's going to keep on until he kills me anyway. So as soon as this rookie hit this guy, I'd lost so much blood, I passed out. I was done. I woke up the next day in the hospital. And I'd already went through an emergency surgery on my arm because I'd lost so much blood. They did the blood transfusions and all that stuff. But they had to do an emergency surgery on my lower back and my neck because I had ruptured 3 discs in my neck. I had 2 broken ribs, 3 ruptured discs, and I had multiple injuries to my left arm. I mean, it was like just meat, just raw meat. Just, you could see almost see my bone. I didn't see that. I'm going by what officers and what the nurse told me because I was out of it when all this happened. But anyway, they did emergency surgery on me. I woke up the next day and I found out that it was not a 911 hang-up call. It was a 17-year-old little girl inside that residence being brutally beaten by these 2 perpetrators. Now, the girl was the son's girlfriend. The guy that attacked me was the father. They were both whacked out on drugs. They had beat this girl. It was a little white girl, and they had beat her with a telephone. And when I say telephone, I'm not talking about an iPhone. I'm talking about those 1990, late 80s, those, you remember the rotary dial phones? They were big and heavy. Well, right after that, and I was so glad, I was like I think 11 years old when they came out with the touch tone. And that's why I say Mary Had a Little Lamb, because I learned how to play Mary Had a Little Lamb on this touch tone phone. But it's real heavy and bulky. And she had called 911. They took it, ripped it out of the wall and beat her in the face with it. She's laying in intensive care. They had sucked the dog on her, multiple injuries to her legs where the dogs was attacked, where this pit bull was attacking her inside the residence. Now, fortunately, my arrival on the scene stopped the attack on the young lady, but then they directed it all on me. So here I am. And here's the part where I look back now and I'm totally ashamed of the way I act. Now, you've heard what I've said. Everything that happened to me, most people would come out of that and be like, oh God, thank you, Lord, I'm still alive. Is that what I did? Nope. It was all boo-hoo, Pat. Why did this happen to me? Boo-hoo, Pat. And to go back to the white Chevette, he was never caught because the GSP officer, which is Georgia State Police, and the county officer came 1078, 1018 to me to back me up while I was being attacked. So they left that scene. A lot of people ask me, hey, was the guy ever caught? So I always throw that in there now. No, he was never caught. So here I am laying in the hospital, just feeling sorry for myself. But you got to realize, I got a bandage around my forehead, all wrapped around my head. I got a bandage down here. I got bandages almost where I can't breathe, and some kind of metal thing. I say it was metal. I don't know if it was. It could have been hard plastic going up my neck to brace my neck. And I'm thinking I'm a paraplegic. And there's a word right there that most Alabama boys can't say, paraplegic. That's too many syllables for us, but I can say it. I practiced it. So here I am, I'm laying in the hospital and I'm feeling sorry for myself. Literally, like, why did this boo-hoo me? Well, the doctor had came in and said, look, I need you. And this is like 3 days into it now. I'd been there like 3 or 4 days. And he wanted me to get up and move around slowly. No sudden moves. No, he just needed my blood circulation to get through. It'll heal faster. just walk one foot in front of the other very slowly. And he wanted me to walk down the hall. He said, there's a Coke machine down the end of this hall to the left. And I knew where it was. I'd been in this hospital several times. You know, I brought several suspects through the emergency room, and I've been up checking on, you know, victims. So I knew where he was talking about. So I've got this pole to the right, and anybody that's ever been in a hospital, you know which pole I'm talking about. It's got all these clear bags with tubes coming down of it, going in this arm and going over here, and then one going right here.
That's the dreaded IV pole.
Right. It's got all this pain medication and all that. So, but it's on wheels. So my sergeant got it, and I sat up, and he moved it around the bed and brought it around there to me, because I'm going to get off on the right. So I get off the bed, and I get dizzy, I get lightheaded. You guys know how that goes when you've been laying in a bed for 3 or 4 days. But I finally made it to the hallway, and I see the Coke machine down there, and I start walking, and I'm still boohoo me now. And I'm taking I'm only using, you know, like a little 3-year-old walking up some steps. One foot like this, then another foot like this. I wouldn't take a full step. I would just use my right leg, because my left leg was really hurting. I had a lot of damage to my left leg. So I just put my right leg out, and then bring my left foot up to match my right foot. And that's how I walk down the hall. But, you know, in most hospitals, they leave these doors open to the room unless somebody's in there visiting. So as I'm walking down the hall, I do this and look to the left, and there's this guy laying flat on his back. And I know he's been in a motorcycle accident. I've worked several of them. I know what they look like. And he's laying on his back, and he's got this mirror vision on his face. And what that is he can lay flat with this mirror vision on his face, and there's a mirror up inside of it that aims towards the TV on the wall, that's mounted on the wall. So he can sit there and watch TV flat on his back. And he's got this huge brace and the bandages everywhere. You know, the burn marks down his arm, you know, where he slid across the pavement. I just knew. I evaluated. I was playing cop again. Okay, he's been in a motorcycle accident. He broke his neck. So this guy's got a broken neck. I go a little further down, and to my right, there's this guy that just by looking at him, I could tell he's been burned up. He's been in a fire. You know, he's got the skin highlighter, Vaseline cream all over him with the bandages. You see it on his hand. I mean, he's you know, laying like this. He's been burnt. I'm like, golly, that's bad. And I take a few more steps and look to my left. And ladies and gentlemen, there's this old woman. I don't know how old she was. Just this old woman that looked like she was just laying there waiting to die. Literally waiting to die. And I thought, you know what? These 3 people are 10 times worse off than I am. My name's not in the obituaries. Hell, it's a hell of a day. What are you doing, Pat? And that's when I woke up. That's when I stopped feeling sorry for myself. So from then on out, I didn't feel sorry for myself anymore. I'm like, oh God, thank God I survived it. You know, yeah, there's going to be some scarring on my left arm, but hey, I'm here. I'm telling you, when you survive something like that, if there's anybody out there that's ever survived death, you know what I'm talking about when you have a totally different outlook on life. So let's make a long story short. I get out of the hospital. I go through 2 more surgeries on my neck and spine. And then I go through a 4th surgery. And the 4th surgery was October 9th of 2013. That was my last final surgery. And my doctor said, I want you on 16-day restricted movement, because I stayed in the hospital like 5 days. And then he released me from the hospital, and he still wants me 16 days on restricted movement, meaning I'm going to lay in this bed at my son's house. And he lived in this nasty ass trailer. Now I'm right back to a damn nasty trailer where it all started. But he lives up here in Chattanooga. So I came up to Chattanooga to stay in his little back bedroom of this nasty ass trailer. This thing was like 50 years old. You know, it's the kind you turn the lights on in the bathroom in the middle of the night and roaches go, they just scatter. So here I am. I'm laying in this back bedroom. It didn't even have a door. So my son put up a curtain, a regular curtain that goes over a window. He put up a curtain with a rod going across the frame of where a door should have been. So to give privacy. So I called him down the hall, because I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, you know what? This is like day number, I don't know, 8, 9, 10 of restricted movement. And I'm thinking, my sergeant's wife, I remember, because I used to work off-duty security. When I was off with the police department, I would sit at Huddle House, which is like a Waffle House, from 12 o'clock at night till 5 in the morning to keep the drunks from killing everybody for $20 an hour. And officers would come by, and sometimes their wives would come by and say hello. But I remember my sergeant's wife was telling me she was making money filling out insurance forms from her home online. And she would make $15 every time she filled out this complete form and submitted it to the insurance company. She worked for this company that got contracts from the doctors, and the doctors sent the paperwork, and she sent it on to the insurance companies. So I'm laying there thinking, because after one thing I forgot to mention, which is the hardest part of this story to me, and I try not to get emotional, but after my fourth and final surgery, the doctor came into the room I was in. He was doing the checkup and all that. He said, Officer Patterson, with the injuries that you sustained in this attack, you can no longer stay in law enforcement. So I knew right then that my 17-year career, I was going to retire as a police officer. It's all I ever wanted to do. It's all I ever want to do in the future at this point. So I knew that that I couldn't be a cop. So I'm thinking to myself, well, what am I going to do now? I mean, law enforcement's all I know. And here's my option. Go guard a telephone pole in a parking lot as a security guard somewhere with my little trooper hat and my whistle and scream stop, or I'll say stop again. That was literally my option. So I'm laying there and I'm thinking, if I can make money filling out insurance forms, I don't have to go be a security guard. I can make money doing that just straight from home. So I called my son down the hall because I'm laying flat, and he propped my head up with some pillows, took a pillow, put it on my stomach, and then put my laptop on top of that pillow. So now it's raised high enough to where I don't have to do this. I can just do this because it's like right here because the big fluffy pillow's there. So I can just type up here like this, laying in the bed. Now I'm under the influence of drugs. I'm under like 3 different kind of pain medications, swelling medications, infection medication. I'm under the influence of drugs. Legal ones, they're prescribed. I want to make that clear. But my head's light. I just don't want to be a security guard. So I do this search. Make money from home insurance forms. And it was Bing because I didn't get on the internet much. Now my patrol unit had a laptop in it, but it was hooked up to GCIC, NCIC, which was the national and state criminal databases. I could run your tag from that laptop, but I can't get on Google. I didn't know what Google was at this time. So Bing came up and I typed, and the 3rd or 4th one down said, yeah, make money from home. And I clicked it. And when I clicked it, I saw these 2 guys named Dave and Dave. And they were running around this video in superhero costumes. Now you got to remember, I'm laying on my back. I just survived death. And now I've got 2 superheroes. And I'm thinking, whatever they're doing, I want to do. I was hooked from the moment I saw these superheroes. Now, I know that sounds stupid, immature, dumb, but that was my mindset at the time. Like, oh my God, just when I needed a superhero to save me, here's 2 of them. And they were running around looking for the syndicate had kidnapped some blonde-headed guy. And, it was a promotion for their new Blog Beast, which was a blogging platform within Power Network. I clicked a button. It said $25. I didn't hesitate. I didn't know what I was buying. I didn't know what a blog was. I had no, to me, it was a word, blog. Okay, what is that? I don't know, but I want to do what they're doing. Blog. If this will stop me from being a security guard, that's what I want to do. So I paid the $25. Then it sent me to this other page and said $19 for an affiliate. I'm thinking, well, that might be a tool I need, or they wouldn't put it in front of me. Because you got to remember, I'm like a nursery child here. I'm like in kindergarten. I don't know what I'm doing. I didn't know what an affiliate was. I had no idea. I thought it was a tool. I thought it was something that I might need to go along with that blog thing that they just sold me for $25. Blog Beast. I'm thinking affiliate. Okay, let me pay that too. $19.95 for an affiliate. Well, come to find out, as we all know now, affiliate was not a tool. It was getting the license to be able to resell the products. So I jumped in head first, not knowing anything. I worked 12, 14-hour days, 6 days a week, under the influence of drugs, in pain. I remember sitting in my chair, and I had a chair like this. My desk was the bed. Once I was off the 16-day restricted movement, I went back to the doctor. He changed my pain medication to something else, and I wasn't laying in bed all day anymore. I put my laptop on the bed. I put a mouse pad beside it where I could use my mouse on the bed, and I'd push my chair, and I had 2 pillows behind me to support. They were stacked up, coming all the way up to here to support my neck. and my lower back. Why I sat there and typed like this. That's how I made this work. I'm not looking for sympathy. I'm saying I was in so much pain that I had to bury it in my mind, like, oh, stop. And the throbbing headaches. And I have to figure out this. How do I load this freaking video? I don't know how to load a video on YouTube. And I got so frustrated, I wanted to throw my laptop completely out of a window a few times. I mean, I really but it would have hurt me, making that sudden movement. So I didn't do it. But I did break my screen once because I shook my laptop so hard it broke the screen. And then I had to go. I didn't quit. Quitting was never an option for me. I went down to Aaron's, which is a rental place that you can rent TVs and stuff. And I rented this little 19-inch or 20-inch TV that had HDMI hookup. I hooked my HDMI cable from that to my laptop. Now that was my new computer screen, and it would wobble. So I had to take pillows and put it on the front and the back of this TV because it was still on the bed because my laptop screen didn't work anymore because I shook it too hard. That's how frustrated I got. The moral of all of this is to say, if some dumbass ex-cop out of Georgia can make this work, anybody can make it work. You're your worst enemy. Trust me. Just like I was sitting in that hospital bed feeling sorry for myself. I was my worst enemy. I had to get the hell out of my own way. As soon as I did, I became successful. But here's what happened.
We're going to get right back to our show. But first, just a quick important announcement.
Hey, what's going on, Influence Tribe? Do you want 2017 to be the game changer in your business? Then you need to attend this event called Live the Dream in Austin, Texas on August 11th through the 13th. This is an awesome 3-day event where you can learn from multiple 6- and 7-figure income earners. It's very simple. Just head on over to ltd.theinfluencetribe.net. That's ltd.theinfluencetribe.net.
Are you getting tons of value? Yeah! See, we told you. Be sure to head over to iTunes to like and subscribe. The Influence Tribe.
I wanted to make $500 a month. If I can make $500 a month, I'm thinking, okay, if I can do that, I can make 12. Because I was only making $27,200 a year when I got injured as a police officer. And that's all I need to make. If I can just make like $1,200, $1,400 a month, I'll be good. So let's start off with 500. This is October 17th of 2013. By October, I hadn't made anything. By November, I'd made like $25. By January, very little. Towards the end of January, I had made $164 total, working 12 to 14-hour days every day, 6 days a week. The only reason I didn't work the 7th day is a lot of times I'd have to go back to the doctor and get reevaluated and read new medication. And my wife was off that one day a week. So but a lot of times she'd be off, and about 4 o'clock, I'd start working again while she's sitting over there in the bed because we lived in that back bedroom. And so here I am. I'm just wanting $500 a month. By March, I still hadn't made $500 in a month. So I changed my strategy. I thought, screw that. I didn't say screw this. I said a few other bad words. I said, I'm not making this about money anymore. I've figured out that it's a numbers game, if you want to call it a game. The more people that go to my capture page, and this is when I figured out what my job was. My job is only to drive traffic to my capture page, and then my job's over, except for coaching them if they become part of my team and helping team members. But my job is just to drive traffic to the capture page. What the hell am I complicating it for? Why am I trying to learn all this other shit that I don't need to know? Because I'm overwhelmed and I'm confused and I just want to quit. And I fired myself so many times. You're fired. I'm done. Next morning I get up and keep working. I never quit. I just fired myself a few times. So here I am. I changed my strategy, and here's my strategy. Here's why Pat Patterson is successful. Number one, because I refuse to quit. When you quit, no way can you be successful. I said, let me get 5 opt-ins. I just want 5 a day. I think I can do that. 5 opt-ins a day for 14 days straight. If I make that, and no mulligans, no cheating, if I get 5 opt-ins for 4 days and then only get 3 the 5th day, I start back from day 1. I want 5 opt-ins straight for 14 days. If I hit that goal, this is what I'm sitting here thinking in my mind. I didn't write it down or anything else. I'm just sitting in the bed under the influence of drugs still thinking, okay, how can I make this work? I can't make it about money because it's not working. And every time I didn't make that $500, I swear to God, it was like a kick in my chest. Like somebody just slammed me in the chest again. Like, oh God, What am I going to do? I'm wasting my time. What am I doing? I just need to just go be a security guard. This is not working for me. And I'm tired of being frustrated. I don't know what a freaking HTML code is anyway. So I'd get so frustrated. So once I changed my mindset and realized, look, I'm not an employee anymore. I'm not the employee. I'm the business owner. So once my mindset switched, which was in March 21st exactly, that, hey, it's up to me. So then I changed my strategy. I want 5 opt-ins a day. And once I remember the first time I got it, it was in April. I want to say it was April the 12th or the 11th. But either way, I hit 5 opt-ins a day for 14 days straight. And all I was doing, by that time, I had mastered my marketing strategy, which was YouTube. Then I said, I'm going to move on to Craigslist and I'm going to master that SOB. And I mastered it. By May, I was a master of 2 marketing strategies. Because you got to do this one at a time, ladies and gentlemen. Don't jump into a business and say, okay, I'm going to do Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, and then I'm going to do some videos. Bullshit. You're not going to be able to do it. That's why you're going to quit, because you're going to get overwhelmed because you're trying to learn too much shit at once. One marketing strategy at a time. Once you master it after a couple months, then move on to another one. This is what I did. And I did this by mistake. I didn't know I was doing it the right way. I was just doing it because I'm a very organized person. I always have been. I'm a Virgo, so we're very, very particular on where stuff goes. And so I ended up doing this stuff right and didn't know it until later. But I mastered. I just wanted to do it one at a time. And don't get me wrong, I did overwhelm myself a lot trying to learn HTML codes and what's a freaking PHP and but anyway. So here I am. I got 5 opt-ins, and you would have thought I won the lottery. Did I make any money? No. I had still $164. It didn't make shit, didn't make a penny, but I hit my goal. And that put a fire under my ass to say, if I can get 5 for 14 days, I'm going to 10 now. I want 10 opt-ins a day for 14 days straight. What did I have to do? More videos, more Craigslist ads. That's it. And then I'm going to learn Facebook. I'm going to learn how to do that. That looks complicated, but I'm going to learn it. So while I'm I've done mastered these 2. Now I'm going to master Facebook. I need 10 opt-ins a day for 14 days straight. I kept going. And you'll be amazed. When you hit 20 to 30 opt-ins a day, 6-figure earner, period. Everything changes. Your whole world changes. 20 to 30, more closer to 30. And when I hit 35, and then I hit 40, and then I hit 50, and then I hit 60, then I hit 70, then I hit 85. And it just, what I do? Only what I started doing in the beginning. I just kept doing it, because all the videos I did in October and November of 2013, they're still on the internet right now. So they were getting me opt-ins and all the new stuff I was doing. So you see, all I'm trying to tell you is I should have never been able to make this work. I knew nothing about the internet, but so many people are so freaking lazy. They want to sit on their ass and do absolutely nothing and come into a business. This is why you fail, because you're a scam. You scam yourself. You're too worried about, is this a scam? No, you're the scam. If you're not going to come into your business and work it like a business and treat it like a business, then you're the scam. Because I assure you, my Lead System Pro, I have what I call the Freedom Funnel system. It's my own system. I designed it. It's up there, and it's got 5 sources of income. Step number 2 is my Lead System Pro. I never market my Lead System Pro directly. It all goes through my Freedom Funnel system. No matter what company you're with, I promise you, none of them work. None. So stop asking that question. Does this work? No. You have to do the work. You have to look yourself in the mirror and say, what the hell are you doing? Get off your ass. Go to work. These are just the tools that get you from point A to point B or wherever you want to go. So don't stop asking, does it work or is it a scam? Because if you're going to ask that question, you're the scam. You're scamming yourself. Stop it. Come into the business with an open mind and say, I'm going to make it work no matter what. It's going to take me 6 months, 10 months, 3. Let's say it takes you 3 years, but you're making $7,000, $8,000, $10,000, $12,000 a month. Wasn't it worth it? Correct. It's a dumbass ex-cop from the state of Georgia that was originally from Alabama. Now, you got to remember, in Alabama, we can marry our cousins. It's cool. It's legal. So, I mean, not a lot of education going on in Alabama except Auburn University. So if I can make it work, anybody can do this. It's just here. So that being said, I'm going to turn it back to the fearsome leader, Mr. Scott. Look, Tandy Davis, and I want to give a shout out to Tandy because Tandy, She's like my backbone in this industry, along with Dave Sitzler and Dave Rainica. We all do Wisdom Wednesday together. And Wisdom Wednesday is every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. I'm just a typical smartass on there, but I have a Tandy that keeps me in line. We don't agree always with each other, but she keeps me in line. And she's just an awesome leader, Scott, along with Dave Rainica and Dave Sitzler. I'm so proud to be a part of that. We set up a few years back in 2015, and we have a lot of people show up every Wednesday. But you did want me to mention my Freedom Funnel system. And
before you get into that, Pat, I've got to ask you a question.
Absolutely.
Okay? Actually, 2 questions. Really
you can
short
ask me
answers.
9 questions. Let's just make it 9.
Okay.
Let's do an odd number and just round it.
I got to ask you, and I'm sure the audience members want to know, tell us the end result of the guy that was beating on you. How many years in prison did he serve?
Life.
He's in there for life right now.
He's in there for life. And here's what happened.
Without possibility of parole.
He can never be out on parole because he was already on parole.
Okay.
This is his fourth offense. But now it's a felony because he attacked a police officer and, attempted murder against a police officer. Of course, that's not the charge, but he got charged multiple, I'm trying to remember the name of it, but anyway, multiple charges against what he did to the girl. He used an animal in the commission of a felony. So now the son, he can't even own a goldfish. I mean, never in his life can he ever own a pet. Okay. So because the son is the one that sucked the bulldog on me. So he was charged with a felony, but he only went to YDC, which is the Youth Development Center. Right. It's like a prison for
kids.
Because he was 17. So he only served till 3 months after he turned 18. They can keep him 3 months into 18 in the state of Georgia. So, or during that time.
Well, now here we are. We were talking about your Freedom Funnel system, and then we are going to put a bow on this. But we got to know about the Freedom Funnel system. How is this going to help somebody that's just starting out, and how do you utilize this?
Well, I designed it for newbies because newbies don't really know what they're doing, and they get overwhelmed. And right. My system is a 3-step system. They come in, they complete step 1, which is some free trials from Fortune 500 companies. And it's free. Now, there's some paid offers, but I always tell people, stay with the free offers. Why pay $9.95 for this offer? And you need 1 credit with Express My Cash Freebies and Double My Cash Freebies. And when somebody does that, I'd make $65 because the Fortune 500 company pays me, get these people to try these free offers. It's an advertising budget. Step 2 is My Lead System Pro. That's their residual income. That's their marketing platform, their training, everything they need is going to be inside My Lead System Pro. And my step 3 is their autoresponder. So I've laid it out, step 1, 2, and 3 for a new person to come in, integrate their autoresponder with my system. I've got all the videos that walk them step by step on how to do each step, how to do everything. There's a training center in there, marketing resources in there, but it's so simple that a newbie can do it and they don't get overwhelmed. When I was designing this thing with my IT guy and my business manager, I kept thinking, I want this to be simple. I don't want a newbie to say, oh God, what do I do now? Even though I still get emails asking that because they want somebody to do the work for them. But the serious ones, the ones that are true to themselves and really want to make money online and get away from corporate America and spend more time with their family, they get it because it's all laid out for them. It's just so simple. If they do step 1 once, they never have to pay any money on that, never have to do anything else. The only expenses is your AWeber and My Lead System Pro. And you know what My Lead System Pro is. And then I also market Digital Altitude inside My Lead System Pro. That's the only place I market Digital Altitude. So when I get a new member in My Lead System Pro that paid the $10 to get their business up and running, they see it popped up in their face that welcome my team. I'm with Digital Altitude. Also go check it out. So, and any training that they look at goes to My Lead System Pro training, and the second button down in that training, the step 3s on My Lead System Pro takes them to Digital Altitude also. I never, ever market My Lead System Pro directly. I will never buy traffic and send it to My Lead System Pro. I send everything through my Freedom Funnel system. I'm all over the leaderboards as I was with Empower, and I'm not bragging. It's not about bragging, and it's not about the money. Never make your business about money, ladies and gentlemen. Make it about opt-ins. The minute you start making it about money, you've lost because you're going to have goals. You're never going to reach them, and you're going to quit. Make it about opt-ins, small goals, daily goals, weekly goals. Forget about I want $300,000 home and I'm going to get this Lamborghini. That's bullshit. When you start making $10,000 a month, then you start creating those goals. But in the beginning, you want small little goals. Like, you know what? I want to do 5 videos this week. That's my goal this week. I just want to do 5 videos, or I want to do 5 Facebook ads, and I want to share them on these groups, and I want to do 3 Twitter ads. Make small goals. Forget about the big house and the big cars and the thousands and thousands of dollars on trips. And that's down the road. That's when you have time freedom. In the beginning, screw time freedom. You're not ever going to have it. You're going to have to wait 6 months to a year to have time freedom, unless you bring this hell of a team with you. But you will have time freedom. And it just kind of happened. Now I work about 6 to 8 hours a week. I don't do a lot, but I still make a lot of money. I'm a multiple six-figure earner. And I don't say that to brag. I say that to tell you what your potential is, because that's your potential. If some little skinny ass 118-pound little guy can do this, seriously, I got a 2-year criminal law degree. How many people's finished college in here? I have 4 and 5 years, 6-year college degree. You're smarter than me. Just don't make it about money and you'll be successful. And a lot of people say, oh, Pat, what do you mean don't make it about money? I need money to pay my bills. Here's what I mean by that. If you make it about opt-ins, you're going to have opt-ins. The money is just automatic. Kind of like when you go to work in corporate America and you're that robot, you work for 2 weeks, and guess what? The money is automatic. At the end of that 2 weeks, you just get a paycheck. It's automatic. You don't have to worry about it. It's there. This is no different. Make it about opt-ins, doing your job. And what's your job? Don't complicate your jobs, ladies and gentlemen. Drive traffic to your capture page. That's it. That's your job. That's as simple as that. Don't complicate it. And the money will be automatic. And I remember 10 months into it, I had made $5,600 in the month of August of 2014. I didn't know that until about the last week of August, and I started adding up everything because I didn't make it about money. And I made this spreadsheet, and I started putting stuff in there. I was like, holy shit, 5,600 and some change? And I kept thinking about, how did I make that? And I had to actually log in Empower and log into, iPass at the time, and started looking, how did I make that money? No, it wasn't iPass. It was Prosperity Team. It was the Prosperity Team. I logged in there and seeing if I made any money back there and looking at Empower, and I'd made $5,600 in the month of August. 10 months into this. By January, I'd already hit over $100,000. That's how fast it happened. Bam! February of 2015, I'd then hit the $100,000 mark. So if I can do it, you can do it. Just get out of your own way.
Now, Pat, your Freedom Funnel system, that's something that's kind of generic, and you can plug and play whatever type of promotion that you want to in there. So when did you come up with the idea to come up with an actual funnel system to run people through to make this sales? I
came up with it. A guy by the name of, I forgot his last name, Jeff Buchanan, had a thing called, I forgot the name of it now. But I was using that in the beginning. I found that a couple of months into Empower Network, and I forgot the name of it. But anyway, his name was Jeff Buchanan, and he had this system. It's a 4-step system. It was real generic. I mean, no colors, no nothing. It was just, like just a plain little WordPress site with some buttons. And step 1 was My Cash Freebie. So I stole that from him. Step 2 was double My Cash Freebie. Step 3 was Pure Leverage, which was the autoresponder, and step 4 was a bonus step, Empower Network. And that's a couple of months into it, I started just marketing through that. I thought that might be easier than sending traffic directly to Empower, and it worked out.
When did you actually start branding yourself versus branding your companies?
June of 2015. That's when my Freedom Funnel system went live.
Pat, in the beginning, we all struggle. What is something that you had to overcome early in your business to succeed?
Mindset. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're an employee of your own business, that's okay right now, because that happens by default. We all do it. When you come from corporate America, I came from politics, from law enforcement, but I was still an employee. I came into this by default as an employee. I'd never owned shit except an old 1978 Ford Thunderbird, okay? I mean, that nickeled and dimed me to death. I wasn't a business owner. I was an employee. So you're going to come into this by default as a employee. It's up to you as you learn. And I can't tell you when it's going to happen or how to make it happen. It's up to you. You have to go from an employee mindset to a business owner's mindset and know without a shadow of a doubt that you're a business owner and you're going to make this work. When I did that, when my mindset changed, and it was March 21st of 2014. I had struggled getting up to the front door of this long hall of this single wide trailer, and I went outside and I was sitting out there almost in tears because I'd gotten frustrated with whatever I was doing in the back on the computer, and I was in some pain. So my eyes were already watered up, and I just sat there and thought, wait a minute. I don't want to say it hit me. It was just, I woke up and I was like, this is mine. This is my business. It's up to me whether I'm successful or not. I don't answer to nobody, but it takes you a few months to realize you don't have to call a boss to see if you want to take the day off. You don't have to call a boss to see if it's okay to load 6 videos instead of 3. It's up to you. It's your business. So the answer to that question is mindset. And this whole industry, whether you fail or succeed, is about mindset. You are your worst enemy. You get in your way more than anything else. So next question. Hey, did I pass? How's my grade so far? Am I passing this shit?
Flying colors, man. What would you say, Pat, is your proudest moment in your network marketing or your primary business?
My proudest moment, because there's so many. And I don't want to make it about me because none of this is about me. This is about your team. This is about the family that you surround yourself with, which is your marketing team. I think my proudest moment is when we went live with my Wisdom Wednesday. And that could not have been done without Dave Sitzler and a gentleman by the name of Patrick Meyer. And Patrick Meyer was our IT guy for the whole thing. And if it hadn't been for Dave Sitzler, we'd have never had a Wisdom Wednesday because I was against it in the beginning. Because we were doing a conference call. And he said, we need to do a webcast. And I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. That means I'm going to have to take a shower and get cleaned up and everybody's going to be looking at me. No. But then what happened is the next week, Dave Wood with Empower Network, or actually Tara, his assistant, called me and they wanted me to be a guest on Tactical Tuesday. And we're supposed to go on, we're going to do our conference call on the next day. And I got on this webcast and I had so much fun. I was just being me, like I am tonight. I mean, I was just being a smart ass and we had a good time. And so after that, then I called Dave Sitzler back and said, okay, yeah, we can do a webcast. I like this shit. This is fun. So, but that was my proudest moment, I think. That and then going on stage, the first time I was on stage in Nashville in front of like 3,200 people. And I was just so proud. But I was proud because of this reason. And it's going to sound like bullshit, but it's not. This is how people that really, really know me know that I can get emotional. But I remember standing there on stage thinking, everybody here is going to listen to what I have to say. If I can help one person out of these 3,200 people, it's all worth it. And I don't know how many people I helped that day because I told my story and pretty much said what I said tonight. But I had people constantly coming up to me how inspiring I was and so that made me come home with a pride that, God, I probably helped at least 5 people out of 3,200 because it is all about, this whole industry is about helping other people. If you make it about yourself, number one, you're selfish and you're never going to make it, period. If you're going to be selfish about helping just yourself, then you're going to be selfish with the money. And then you're going to be selfish with the way you market. And you're not going to share anything. You got to share. If I find a new way to doing something, I'll tell everybody on Wisdom Wednesday. There is no secrets. So make it about helping others. And I don't know how it works, but good karma just comes. It just happens.
It does, doesn't it?
It does.
Give us 1 or 2 of your favorite quotes.
My favorite quote is treat your business like a business and not a hobby. And that is a Pat original. Back in 2015, I want to say May of 2015, I had the marketing director with Empower called me and they wanted me to do an inner circle video. And anybody that's been with Empower knows what it's an audio. Mm-hmm. And I said, yeah, I'll do it. And now I started thinking, wait a minute, I've never done anything like that. Shit, what am I going to say? Because I can't do a script. I just got to get in front of the camera or get in front of a mic and just start talking. So I called I called a friend of mine at the radio station. His name's Dylan. And I booked on a Saturday, I booked the sound room. Because if I'm going to do it, I want to do it right. And it cost me money to do this audio. It cost me about $250, but then Empower gave us $100 for doing the audio. And I just started talking. And it came out to about, and that's where I came up with treat your business like a business and not a hobby on that audio. And I liked it. And so it just became mine. I say it all the time because so many people jump into this industry because they own a computer that qualifies them to open a business and be their own CEO. but they don't realize that all the learning curves. And if they just slow down long enough and change their mindset and just do one thing at a time, but everybody jumps into this wanting, okay, I need to make $5,000 this month. My first month, I got to make it because I got bills coming. Well, that's not, then you need to stay with your full-time job, do this part-time until your income is matched with your full-time job, then quit. So, but if they would treat their business like a real business, because it is, and stop treating it like a hobby. And what I mean by that is people will join it 2 weeks. The first 2 weeks, they are going 100 miles an hour. They are working their business every day. They're just so excited. And after the first 2 weeks, if they haven't quit yet, that 8 hours a day or 5 hours a day goes down by half. They're only working a couple hours every other day now. And a week later, they're only working like 3 hours a week. And then by the end of the month, they're not even working at all. And then what do? Oh, that was a scam. That didn't work. That didn't. Yeah, that's not going to work. Because you couldn't make it work with your dumbass work ethic. Nobody can make it work. Really? So you're going to call it a scam and put negative comments on these little boards on the internet. That's just crazy as hell. They're the scam. That's why I always say they're the scam. But that's my favorite quote. Treat your business like a hobby, or treat your business like a business and not a hobby.
Pat,
you can't ask me these questions because I just go off like a preacher in left field and keep going.
Don't worry. You're doing great, man. Leaders are readers. So give us one or two of your books that you've recommended or that you could recommend in the last 6 months.
I can't read. Pat does not read. If I want to know something, I'll watch a video. But let me tell you, I'm very, very close to a young lady named Tandy Davis. I mean, business close. I mean, we work very closely together. And she's recommended a book called or You're a Badass, or I'm a Badass, or something to that effect. And I went out to not Books A Million. What's that other bookstore? The big bookstore, Barnes and Noble. And I'm at this bookstore. Now I'm at the bookstore to buy a work from home magazine. And I'm going to give a secret away, but I go to these magazine stand at this bookstore about every other month, and I buy 2 or 3 of these work from home magazines. And it's got all these ads in it. A lot of articles. I don't read the articles, but it's got ads. And I'll take those ads and do a review video on that company that's got the ad in there. Because when somebody reads the little ad, and there's a whole bunch of them in the back, like, mail order catalogs and make money mailing envelopes and all these ads. And I'll take the company name or the website, and go on the website, look at the company name, and then I'll do a review video, post it to YouTube with my link underneath the video. So that's a good way to market. And you're never going to find a lot of these companies doing a lot of advertisement because they do it in the magazine.
Right.
So that's what I was there for. And while I'm there, I text Tandy and said, what's the name of that book about me being a badass or something like that? And she texted me back about 30 minutes later when my Starbucks Cafe Misto, who was almost stone cold, sitting there waiting on her to text me back. She did. I bought the book. I actually paid $14.95 for this book. Why, I don't know. I guess I just wanted to say I bought a book because I didn't read it. I can't really recommend any book. Now, I used to read John Grisham, if that helps. As far as the rich man, I've never read Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I've never Think and Grow Rich. All these, I've heard of them, but I've never read them. So I'm not much help with the reading part.
No problem. Moving right along. Give us a moment in your business that you're struggling, and then you had this aha moment. The light bulb went off. The clarity was there. Give us that moment.
March 21st of 2014. That was my aha moment to say, anybody that's been in this industry a few weeks and they've set some goal and they don't reach it, they start doubting themselves. Oh, did I do the right thing? I better figure it out because MLSP's fixing to charge me this $149.97. I haven't made no money. Nobody's joined me. I'm out $10. And so I know everybody goes through that. You set these goals that most of the time they're unreachable. And I blame that on the industry because of all these videos. Hey, you can look at this mansion of a house and the Lamborghinis running down the road and all the vacations and the yachts. And that's possible later. But in the beginning, you make these goals and you can't reach them. And it's like getting punched in the chest. For me, it was $500 a month. I didn't think that was unreasonable. I really did not think that was too much. So The minute I said, I cannot make this about money, and I didn't learn this anywhere. I just came up with it, sitting outside, smoking a cigarette. Look, I can change this. 5 opt-ins a day. Remember that? That was my aha moment to when I stopped making it about money. And then it's funny because when you stop making it about money, you also stop making it about yourself. I don't know how that happened. That just kind of blended in with not making it about money. And when you don't make it about money, you make it about opt-ins. What are you making it about? You're making it about the individuals that are visiting your page, those individuals that are on your list now, those individuals that join your MLSP or your does my step one, and then I'm on the phone with those individuals who have become some of my best friends that I've ever had in real life. I've got internet friends that I've never met in person that I'm closer with than people I've met in face to face, because I made it about opt-ins, which was making it about people. And then that's where I came up with, this industry is more about people. This is a people industry. This is about helping other people. This is about opt-ins and getting people on my list and getting them to my capture page, not about the money. Like I said earlier, if you're working in corporate America, do you go to work and say, okay, I'm going to fix the coffee and I'm going to file this and I'll make $3. And if I type this letter out my boss, and that's probably another $1.50, you don't think that way. You don't make it about money. You do your job, and at the end of the 2 weeks, you get a paycheck. It's either direct deposit or they hand you a paycheck. It's automatic. If you just make your business the same way and make it about opt-ins, make it about people and helping others, money's just automatic. And it just comes out of nowhere. Anybody that's been successful knows what I'm talking about. It's all of a sudden, how in the hell did I make $5,600 in August? I have no idea. I don't even remember that coming in being that much. But when I added it up, wow, $5,600. And then I couldn't stop it now if I had to, because I made it about other people. I made it about helping as many people as I can. And I'm not talking about those one that's got the 101 questions that want you to hold their hand and do all the work for them. Them aren't the ones I'm talking about. You'll know a leader when you talk to a leader. You'll just know. Those are the ones I'm talking about. Those are the ones you can help. Those are the ones you can guide, and those are the ones you can make money off of. So it's just all automatic. As long as you're willing to help others, the money's just there. So that was my aha moment, March 21st of 2014, when I stopped making it about money and made it about opt-ins. And at the same time, my mindset, Scott, changed. That's when I realized I'm the CEO of my company. I went from mailroom guy to CEO that quick. And you know, when that happened, Scott, the training videos that I was listening to, when I'd listened to them before, about 15 minutes into it, all I heard was blah, blah, blah. I was only sitting there watching them so I could pat myself on the back at the end of the day saying, yeah, I watched a video, 2 training videos, and I uploaded 3 videos. I did some stuff on Facebook. Man, I worked my ass off today, but I didn't really go through the training. When my mindset changed, that's when I also, and let me give you another tidbit, very, very important. If you hadn't heard anything else I've said, listen to this. When you're going through a training video, only do 30 minutes of that video per day. If it's a 2-hour video, it's going to take you 4 days to go through it. You want to spend 30 minutes a day in training. Stop the video, whatever he tells you to do or she tells you to do, stop it, go do it, come back, play, go through the video. When he tells you to do something else, stop the video, go do it, come back. By the time you've gotten through that 30 minutes, everything he's trained you on that video, you've already done. The next day, then watch the second half of that video. Watch another 30 minutes. The third day, watch. So now the third day, you've watched an hour and a half and you've done everything in that video he's told you to do. Here was my problem. I'd get through a 2-hour video or an hour and a half video, and I'd have to, 2 days later, I'm skimming back through it to try to figure out, what did he say do? What was I supposed to put in that box? But if you just stop the video, I learned all this the hard way. 30 minutes a day, that's it. Our attention span is only 30 minutes. That's why sitcoms only last 30 minutes, because that's our attention span. After 30 minutes, you're going to hear blah, blah, blah. So you're not going to get anything out of a training video that you may have paid for. So do 30 minutes a day. Anyway, I'm taking up way too much of your time, Scott. I know I am.
Pat, what's the best piece of advice that you've ever received as it's related to your business?
The best advice. Wow, that is hard. The best advice I've ever gotten. See, when other people talk and try to tell me how to do something, I'm usually like blocking them out. I'm like, okay, yeah, whatever. Like I'm Mr. Know-It-All or something. And then I'm like, oh shit, what'd they say? I should have listened. Shit, I'm gonna have to. I don't know. I can't. My mind's just a blank about any advice that I got. when I started, this is how stupid I was. I did not know a sponsor came with this. I didn't know what a sponsor was. I mean, to me, a sponsor was, the AA meetings that I charged somebody with a DUI went to. That was a sponsor. Right. I didn't know that this industry, when I joined Empower and then I went on to Jeff Buchanan's deal, I didn't know it came with a sponsor. I had nobody to call, nobody to guide me. I didn't realize that I was already making probably $6,000, $7,000 a month before I realized, oh shit, I got somebody I could call. Because these webcasts, they weren't available back in 2013, 2014. You had to pay big money to get on GoToMeeting. And I didn't do that. They weren't so readily available. We didn't have Yahoo Facebook Messenger, and we didn't have FaceTime, Facebook Live, and none of that was available. I did not know I could call somebody. So my mentor was really Mars. He was the marketing director with Empower, and we got really, really close. The huge guy with the ponytail and it looked like an oak tree. We got together, and he heard my story. He called me, and we did a complete sales video that anybody in Empower Network could use. It was kind of like Justin and Dee's sales video, but it was mine. It was about my story and joining Empower and all that. So, I mean, anybody with Empower could use it, and we worked so closely on that project that he was really my mentor, but he didn't really he did tell me to blog. Let me just say that. He said, if you're not blogging, you're an idiot. You got to blog. And I hated blogging, but I promised him in April of 2015 I'd start blogging. So I did. I went through this 30-day blogging challenge thing.
How often do you blog now?
Well, I don't. I outsource it. I get 7 blogs a week, and I don't have to do anything for them. So I do a lot of outsourcing. And guys, look, that doesn't mean that I'm fancy, but you will find, since you're the CEO, there's going to be things you don't like to do.
Right.
Outsource it when you get successful. Don't do it. I hate to blog. I can't stand to blog. I'm figuring out what the hell am I going to talk. I don't like to write, and I don't like to read. So,
but you did it in the beginning.
I did. Yes, I did. I did a lot in the beginning, but I used a program that let me cheat. I didn't write my own blogs. I used a program called Spin Rewriter. And I would find a really cool article, go spin it. It's 98% mine now, and copy and paste it over to my blog, add a picture to it, I'm done. I could do a blog in 11 minutes. I didn't give a damn what it was about. I didn't care. I just wanted the blog up there. And I got a lot of traffic. I won 2nd place in the blogging challenge with Empower Network. So, and how I did that, I have no idea. They even gave me this little trophy thing because I made 2nd place. Ooh, look at that. It's a paperweight. And I'd only been blogging for like 28 days when I won that. And then I learned that I should have a theme, like, do blogs about making money from home, or do blogs about cars, or do blogs about cooking. I was all over the place. I was doing about pets and cooking and making money. And I didn't have anything. I was just, whatever I grabbed is what I grabbed. I blogged all the way up until I started outsourcing it back in September of last year. And I haven't touched it since. I just let my guy do it. And he does a really good job and puts it on all social medias for me. And so I don't have to worry about it anymore.
Well, Pat, we're at the moment in our interview where I ask you the $1 million question. So you ready for this? Okay. You've lost all your income, but you have all the knowledge you currently possess. So if you had to start all over again, what would you do in your business to start getting immediate results?
YouTube. I'd immediately start doing. I could lose, honestly, I don't wish this on anybody, but I could actually lose everything, my income and everything. And I promise you, I'll be back on top in 6 to 10 months. I mean, I'd be back to making $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 a month in less than 6 to 10 months because of my knowledge.
Can you give us some of your mentors for YouTube, or who do you recommend that somebody would go follow or check out?
Dave Rainica is the one, and I don't know if you know who that is.
Oh yeah.
But this guy he's from South Africa, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm jealous when he does a video because he doesn't have a script. He just sits in front of his computer and he just smashes it. I mean, he kills these videos. Mm-hmm. If you want to learn, you don't want to learn how to do a video from me because I just get there and start talking and there's no telling which way I'm going to go on this video. But he is just, real professional. That and Tandy Davis is also very professional, because I remember when Tandy first started, she was like very timid, didn't want to do a video. You could tell she was new. Look at her now. I mean, she will crush these videos. She can train people how to do videos.
And I want to let you know right now that, Pat, that Dave is watching right now. He says hi.
Dave Rainica?
Yep.
Oh, Dave! Hey, buddy! There's the YouTube king right there. He struggled for 9 to 10 months in South Africa, and he taught himself how to do these videos. And ladies and gentlemen, I saw the first video he ever did, and it sucked. Literally, it sucked. But it's great because you compare that to what he is now. You can see. I mean, look at me and look at him and look at Tandy Davis and look at Dave Sisler and little Katie. Look at where we came from and where we are today. And all of it was because we never stopped believing in ourselves. I mean, that's what I would say is video. And if you want a mentor in videos, Dave Rainica, all the way. Yes, absolutely.
Pat, do you got any parting words to our audience or words of wisdom? And what's the best way to get in contact with you?
The best way to get in contact with me is you can now to the Freedom Funnel System. That's Pat Dash, and it's the little, what do they call that dash, like a telephone dash?
I say it's a hyphen.
Yeah, Pat-Patterson.com will take you into my Freedom Funnel System. But listen to me, guys. If you know of anybody that's with the Freedom Funnel System, please do not type in Pat-Patterson.com. Get with the person you know. Get their link to the Freedom Funnel System, because this is all affiliate stuff. If you know somebody, you want to be under them and let them make the commission. So don't just start typing in Pat-Patterson.com. But yeah, that's the way to get to my website. Hell, anybody could call me. My phone number is 423-987-9777. And I don't care whose team you're on. I don't care where you came from. We're here to help you. It's not about how much money can I make from you. It's about how much can I help you. But I say that to say this. If you're lazy and you want somebody to do the work for you, don't call me. I'm the wrong guy to call, because I'm going to be a smart ass about it. Do not call me. But if you're willing to help yourself, I'm willing to help you in any way I can. But that's not just me. It's everybody on Wisdom Wednesday, including our guest on Wisdom Wednesday, like Jamie Shaw. I can't remember all their names, but Don Sears. All of them are there to help each other. And we don't ask you who's your sponsor. So, but yeah, and then you can get with me through my email, and then my full name, patpatterson.info. So, and words of wisdom, just get out of your own damn way. I mean, why does 97% of this industry fail? And that's a high number. I'll tell you why they fail. Number one, they do not take advantage of the available resources that are made available to them. And these resources are optional. But most of these resources, like in My Lead System Pro, they're specifically designed to help you go further faster. I mean, that's what they're designed for. And people are, oh no, I don't want that. I don't need it. I'm not spending any money. If you're not willing to invest in yourself and invest in your business, then you've already lost. They're like, okay, if I buy that, is it going to work? No, are you going to work? I keep saying that, but are you going to work? And if you say, I'm not going to buy something for my education, what you're saying is this: oh, I'm not going to buy that shit. Hell no. But what you really mean is, I don't believe in myself enough to work hard enough to make this work. So I'm not going to throw my money away because I'm not worth it, and I'm not going to make it work anyway because I'm lazy. Just tell yourself the truth, because that's really what you're saying. I have invested thousands and over $20,000-$30,000 in my education since I entered this industry. You have to invest in your education. The internet marketing changes like on a weekly basis. What worked 6 months ago is not working now, but they have training courses that you can buy that's working right now. Buy them. $297, $497, $997. I buy them all the time, and I keep up with what's changing in my industry. If I'm going to stay in this industry, I got to be willing and able to keep up and continue to invest in myself. If you're not willing to do that, you just don't believe in yourself enough, and you need to stay in corporate America and stay a robot and build somebody else's dream, because you're never going to be able to build your own. And that's the cold, hard truth. I mean, that is the fact. If you can't invest in yourself and your business, and your education, you're wasting your time anyway. Quit. If you're on the trial, cancel your trial with MLSP. If you're paying the $149, cancel that shit because you're not going to be successful. I'm just being honest. You have to get out of your own way and make this work for you. So that's the words of wisdom. I'm sorry, I'm always just straightforward, but
I wouldn't have it any other way, Pat.
They got to wake up.
Right.
This is not a hobby. This is not something we can tinker. I'm going to try this out. That's the wrong attitude. That's the wrong mindset. You're going to try it out. Well, it's not going to work if you're just going to try it. So, because marketing is hard. It's hard. You got to master this stuff. So how are you going to try it out? That'd be like me going to jump rope right now. Let me try to jump rope. I can't jump rope, but I guarantee if I practiced it for 6 months, I'd be an expert at jump roping. But I can't go just try it out because I'll bust my ass. That's what's going to happen if Pat tries to jump rope. So, see what I mean? You got to master this. It's not something you can just try out.
But I'd pay money to see that.
Shit, I'd sell tickets if I was going to do that. I just hired Dave Rainica and let him sell tickets on the internet. Pat's going to jump rope tonight.
Pat, this has been an awesome interview. I got to say thank you so much for coming out. It's been fun. It really has.
I apologize for going so over, but I do that every Wisdom Wednesday. I go over, and it's always my fault. I am so sorry. I didn't mean to go so far over.
One day one day you'll get that taken care of.
Yeah, I don't think so, but I'll try. I'm going to keep trying. Because time's not an issue when you work for yourself.
I know, right?
I apologize for taking so long. I hope I didn't mess anybody up tonight because I was trying to respect your time, but somehow it all got away from me.
Well, anyway, don't go anywhere. Hang out for just 5 minutes after we close out, okay? All right.
Absolutely, man. And I appreciate you having me. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Absolutely. Thank you for coming on. Folks, you are the product of the 5 closest people you hang out with, and tonight you've been hanging out with Pat Patterson. Pat, we want to thank you for coming on. You are definitely a massive influencer, and we want to say good night and God bless to everybody.
Thank you for joining us today at the Influence Tribe. All right, here's what you got to do. Run, don't walk. Over to theinfluencetribe.net for recaps of every show, training, and helpful resources. Make no mistake, your internet marketing success is waiting for you. Head to the website and prepare yourself to become a massive influencer.